yet, but
it's all right. Everybody's getting this thing figured out finally.
Yep. Yeah, it just takes a few weeks of quarantine and everybody's like a professional video conference.
It seems like how it's going for sure. All right, let me get everything set up on my end here. I'm going to try to live stream this at the same time.
Nice.
Y'all hear me?
I hear you.
Sure can, buddy.
Great.
It said Zoom was having some hiccups anyway, so if it
Yeah,
doesn't live stream,
crazy.
if it doesn't live stream, it's not the end of the world.
It's been crazy trying to get live stream capacity out there. It's been nuts.
The tubes are all full.
Well, it's all the third party software that everybody uses, and it's just getting inundated, you know.
Yeah.
And it's the churches. It's
That's true.
It's like people can't get enough Jesus, you know.
You can't get to church, man. You got to stream your Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Jesus has got a Bible out there, you know. So I'm gonna get struck by lightning if I don't shut up.
He wrote the book on working remotely. Is that what you're saying?
John, I used your graphics.
Oh, you used them today? Shit, I didn't even make it in. My kids are going way too nuts.
Oh no, at 9:00 I'm using them.
Oh, okay, perfect.
We're going to try to live stream one more time. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work.
Oh, good. We got our Area 51 worker, Stephanie Gallia, with us. Silhouetted to protect the innocent.
Oh my gosh. Area 51. That's awesome.
It gets better if you stay on the if this ends up being one of those 2-hour ones, you'll see the background changes, gets even better.
Sure.
Well, I'll have to cut around 8:45.
Yeah, we're not going to stay till then. We're going to make sure we all jump off to catch your live stream, Fred.
Yeah, take a whole raid party right over to Fred's.
Pretty much.
By the way, Chad, I don't think I've ever met you. Hey, what's up, Chad Cross? I've never met you. I've seen you around on the webs. How you doing?
Yeah, I've seen you on YouTube. Watched your channel.
Appreciate it, man.
I asked about Booker's quite a bit, if you remember that.
I'm a big fan of Booker's.
It's my favorite.
Except my wife. It's good bourbon, and you can find it.
Makes a great whiskey sour, I heard, right, Fred?
Heartburn.
Booker's 30th?
Yeah, the Booker's 30.
And the rye.
Man, that is bad.
It's a good-looking crew we got. Scott Rose, you got a strong beard, my brother. That is strong.
Took a couple of years.
He doesn't mess around.
Andy's got a good-looking beard, too. I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to be growing beards in the next 3 months.
And it's Jordan.
And, of course, the beard of beards, Jordan, gets on.
That's right.
That's a beard right there. Man. So, Jordan, you got that good beard. Why do you shave the head? I mean, you could have long flowing locks too.
Well, I was starting to lose it on top, so I figured I might as well just, roll with it.
Like gravity.
What are you talking about? You're not losing your hair. You don't have a receding hairline.
Well, it's a little different than when I was, 20, 25. So figured I'd just roll.
You gotta let that stuff grow out. Just
lean forward. We gotta see what you're working with.
I know. I need to catch up to Joe.
All right. Well, I think the live stream is dead, but oh well. I'm recording, so I can always just post it to YouTube later. Not a big deal. But there's really not a whole set agenda or anything like that for this. Like I said, it was just an opportunity to kind of get everybody together, share another drink, Is anybody sipping on something decent right now?
Mhm.
It's all Dickel.
I'll take.
Not a problem with that.
Last
I'm,
1792 12 year.
Oh man.
So this is it.
I like that 12 year.
It was really good. I'm gonna
Yep.
miss it.
Yeah, I was. Gosh, Nate, you're the one who sent me the sample of 12 year, didn't you?
Yeah.
We reviewed it on the Whiskey Quickie, and it really surprised me. It's got to be something where maybe it's just like the foolproof at 125. It's just too much, but as soon as you start toning it down, a lot of better flavors start coming out of there.
Really good flavor. Really good.
Not too sure what it is, but man, it's definitely
Old
awesome.
label Elijah Craig, nice.
I'm drinking
Blaker.
coffee.
Like, are we on the same? Are we on the same porch here?
Yeah, wait a minute, are you guys neighbors?
I think he might be.
That's my roommate. What's going on? Cheers.
Yeah, get a picture of this. This is cool.
I just opened my Four Roses single barrel from the gift shop.
Which one's that?
What recipe?
It is OBSB. I think it's fairly similar to their standard single barrel. They said it's just aged a bit longer, the one you get in the gift shop there. So, but for $40, I thought a 9 to 12 year single barrel is not bad.
Yeah, I remember they haven't had much stuff out of the gift shop in a while. I think it's been a lot of mostly misses for people that go there. It's just some standard stuff nowadays. So
A lot of small batch select, a lot of the yellow single barrel. But
Yeah, I think I'm expecting them to do some kind of spin-off on the small batch select, like have, Brent Elliott's probably, I think that guy, he's got a great palate. I mean, he's a really, really good blender. So I'm excited to see what he can do down there. Hey, Randy, you've got you probably have the most amount of Pappies and the Pappy single barrels from 1995. What are you drinking tonight? And if you're not drinking something like that, then I probably
what are you even
just
doing
set you-
here? Yeah.
Yeah.
You talking to me?
Yeah. Well, of course. I mean, you
No, I
got
don't have
one of the
any
greatest
Pappies.
collections in the country.
Not me. I'm drinking Whistle Pig tonight.
There you go.
So
Like I said,
store
that
pick from the party source.
Where are you from, Randy?
Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Okay, right down the road.
Yep. I was actually down in Louisville a couple of weeks ago, right before they shut everything down.
Yeah, they won't let you in now.
it's your
Exactly.
fault.
They were closing stuff down then. Angels Envy was closed, and so
Yeah.
kind of put a damper on the weekend.
Yeah. I think we're seeing that everywhere, though.
Yeah.
But now you can get a chip.
Fred, I'll kind of ask you this. Now that we're seeing a lot of the news reports come out, I think I've seen Texas and California have both said that school is done until May. And we are now looking at, well, pretty much every distillery switched over to sanitizer, right? I mean, there's, I don't know anybody that's still producing at this point.
Peerless is still producing.
Heaven Hill's actually still producing. If anybody noticed that, they sent out a press release saying, here's what we're doing. They're basically using their Evan Williams experience downtown, which, by the way, does 1 barrel a day. And then you've got their, I think, Deep Eddy, and then they had their Black Velvet. Is that another one?
Yeah, Black Velvet is a Canadian whiskey.
Yeah, and so they were doing sanitizer for that, but their massive operation downtown, they're not going to slow that train. I don't think that's not in the books for them.
Yeah, and the thing is Heaven Hill is a ran by Max Shapira, and he's he has a long view of. He's very much like Mark Brown, has a very long view of what the world looks like, and And, I mean, these distilleries are looking at like one of their big sources of revenue starting to dry up, and that's tourism. And so if they have the capabilities to churn out some distillate right now, put it in a barrel, that's revenue down the road.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, also sneaking in that Old Fit 16 gift shop only release.
Yeah. And you got to remember, too, that a lot of these facilities cannot actually make the distillate that would be required to create grain or to create a hand sanitizer. It requires at least 190 proof, although they did lower it, I think, to 186 proof. But even still, most of those column stills that are making whiskey can't churn out anything higher than 160, 170 proof. So what's happening is that people are actually buying grain neutral spirit from like Cargill or ADM or MGP, and they're literally sourcing GNS and blending their own batches of hand sanitizer. So I'm just waiting for the sourced GNS scandal, with all this.
And do you think that's a reason why? Because at this point, Four Roses is the only one that I know is completely shut down. They said that they're stopping production, everything like that. I don't even think they're bottling. So
yeah,
that'd probably be the reason that they just don't.
Well,
have
so you got to remember the Four Roses is owned by the Japanese, and the Japanese got hit pretty hard with coronavirus, and so I think that might be a little bit of a reactionary from their management. And Anderson County actually I believe Anderson County either had the first or second case of coronavirus. So and Anderson County is a small county, probably 15 people in that distillery knew the person who had it. So I'd say that I think it's an abundance of caution that they were taking, and it is interesting to see how everybody operates in this time. What's everyone else's feeling about all the hand sanitizer and how the distilleries are handling it? Is it, to include the tourism side, because I'm sure many of you are looking to come down to Kentucky and visit a distillery. But what are your thoughts of how that various distilleries are handling the coronavirus?
Well, we can't get it in Ohio. You can't get it anywhere.
Coronavirus or hand sanitizer?
Hand sanitizer. It's impossible. Yeah, we're getting it all around here, but
I'd rather them make bourbon and us just use soap to wash our hands.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think we need to get a hold of some and hang on to it. I think it'd be good for a trade in the future. After, of course, those who need it who get it.
There you go. You don't have people sitting there swarming you and be like, no, not another hoarder of hand sanitizer over here.
I know. I have 5, and we'll trade for William LaRue.
The same people that hoard E.H. Taylor small batch.
Yeah, and Elmer T.
Yep.
Yeah, they're gonna
I'm
have
a
a.
victim to that.
It's funny, like the hand sanitizer thing. It sounds heroic, and everyone's doing this, and that's so. It's such a nice thing to do, but then you see it, and you're just like, oh, this is just a really awkward, gross-looking jug. It's weird.
Has anybody actually gone to a local distillery and picked up hand sanitizer or anything like that?
So we've
I
gotten
could,
some in
but I'm
Seattle
not
from
interested.
local distilleries here, and it's been useful here just because it's been so hard to get. But I don't know that it makes sense that all the distilleries in Kentucky start making it and shipping it around. I don't know how well that'll work, but we've gotten some locally that was pretty decent. But
Well, they have gotten over 600 requests, and they just within 3 days they had requests from all kinds of fire departments across the country. It to me, what's interesting is it's hitting the people who are requesting it are not necessarily the people you would think, like firefighters and police officers, all the first responders. they should have that stuff available. But I honestly thought when they put the call out for people accepting for donations and everything, I honestly thought it was just going to be people like consumer bases reaching out and trying to get bottles. But really, it's been hospitals, nursing homes, fire departments, all people who legitimately need this stuff. So, I mean, I think it's kind of cool that they are making that effort.
Yeah, the Bowman Distillery here in Virginia restricted all their hand sanitizer just to the Fredericksburg area first. And they're exhausting, the supply in Fredericksburg, first responders, hospitals, and things like that. And once they know that need is met, then they've said that they'll maybe consider passing it out to the public or looking beyond the local Fredericksburg community to see who needs it. But and maybe it's the same thing as hand sanitizer, but they were just running and bottling gin today. So, they're obviously balancing it out with still running some spirits as well.
Mm.
Didn't somebody say on a previous podcast that we should wash our hands in 1792 foolproof and be gargling it?
I don't know if I said that. I think I said Booker's. But now in hindsight, that's probably a tasteless joke. So I hope nobody actually took me seriously.
Yeah, we all kind of made jokes in the beginning, and I don't think anyone really realized how quickly and serious this would get, and I would shut down the whole country. So we'll cut you some slack there, Kenny.
I appreciate it.
Well, let's talk about some whiskey.
Nice, good idea.
Is that all right?
Yeah,
I think it's a good way to turn the tables here because
yeah,
we got Brandy over here. Somebody said it earlier, doing the WB Saffel flex in front of the camera.
Right, nice.
Brett, I thought we were talking about whiskey, just whiskey with gelatin in it.
Right? Yeah. I mean, someone mentioned in the comments here that it was you that they're gonna start drinking it. It's gonna be like the next Tide Pods, and I'm like, oh my god, it's really that is really what's gonna happen. I mean, maybe this segment can be like about how stupid people are, and like this can be one of the great assessments of our society as to whether or not they really start drinking hand sanitizer.
Oh boy.
Well, let's hope that's not the case.
We're going to talk about how stupid people are. We might be on here for a little while if we're talking about them using bourbon inappropriately.
Yeah, that's right. And by the way, sir, you have a fine last name. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
It's all that spelling. I was going to question that, but I figured I'd give it some time.
Yeah, well, we're probably actually related. Like they, when everybody came into the States, they just screwed up the names. We all come from like the Minnix come from like two little towns in like Poland and Germany. I come from like the Germany side.
Yes,
but
as well.
Yeah, we're probably related.
Well, if nothing else, by almost last names and bourbon.
By God. Mm-hmm.
You got a K, he got an H.
Hey, the people's champion's here.
He's made it. He's made his entrance.
Yeah, I got Beauty and the Beast going, so I got like a couple minutes.
you got out of the way just a little bit.
Hopefully you don't hear Belle serenading in the background.
That could be worse.
I mean, I've heard you sing before. It's almost like Belle. It's pretty close.
Yeah, I'm pretty close. More like the candle.
So since we only got you for a few minutes, we'll just go ahead and assess what's in your glass there. I noticed you're pretty high on the ice. I'm
drinking an old fashioned.
Oh, okay. When does everybody here? Let's go around the horn here and talk about when people add ice to their whiskey, because that's how I drink my TV bourbon. Is I put a little ice in it and just kind of chill. I'm curious how everyone else
80 degrees.
All right. Well, let's start up. My left corner. So Jack Johnson, how you doing, man? Finally, nice to see you. It's been a while.
Doing great, Kenny. I'm drinking an Elijah Craig 12-year-old. Small bag. It's good.
What's your stance on ice?
No ice.
Ever?
No. Sure, anytime. I mean, I'll use ice whenever. It doesn't matter,
Just with water.
I go with the flow. It doesn't matter, whatever.
For sure. All right, John H. from Maine.
So what's in the glass? Is that what we're doing here?
What's in the glass, and what's your stance on ice?
All right, I'm doing side by side with Old Fitz 15 and Elijah Craig 18.
Dude, that Old Fitz
And
15 is
That's pretty good.
It's something unreal. It's got that it's got that sweet oak.
It does have that sweet oak. We know where you stand on that.
Kenny loves that sweet oak.
He's all about that business.
We should get jerseys made, like baseball jerseys, and that's the back of mine's gonna say. Ryan's got the People's Champ,
right?
And then we got the Ascot of Bourbon. Yeah, it's like the Ascot. That's what it says.
I thought you were gonna give me marzipan.
Oh, I like that one too.
Yeah, you're probably ready to drop the Ascot.
You know what? When it gets hotter, the harder it becomes to wear an ascot. That is true.
Yeah.
All right, John. Sorry, I totally interrupted you on your where you stand on ice.
Only when it's in a cocktail, like an old fashioned.
See, my man.
Yeah. Scott Rose, you're up next, man.
I got Rowan Creek. Can't get that in Ohio, so yeah, I get that when I can. Ice is for tea and water, pretty much.
Fair enough.
Makes sense. Yeah. All right, Randy. We know that you're drinking Whistle Pig, but what's your stance on ice?
In cocktails, I don't mind it as long as it's the big ice. But my ice here at home is terrible, so I don't drink ice in my pours. I go neat. So.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, that's what I noticed Ryan's glass, and he's got a whole stack full of just like refrigerator cubes.
Freezer. Yeah.
No, it's like he just did the like a whole tray. Just said, "Hey, come on over here."
I'm trying to get rid of all my. I have so many open bottles of everyday bourbons. I'm just trying to make cocktails every night, like Manhattans, old fashions. I'm just.
Oh no,
just looking for the effect.
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying we need to step up your ice game.
Yeah,
that's what we need to do.
Gucci ice going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we gotta get you a Wintersmith or something like that because I've got one of those. Dude, I got one of those and they're awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I'm a peasant in the ice game, just like everything else.
We love you though.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, next on the list, Chad Cross, man.
I'm drinking Pursuit Series episode 17.
Oh, we love you already.
And I do not put ice in my bourbon. However, if I'm making a cocktail, I'm very specific about the ice that I use. So I use the old-fashioned Coleman cooler in a chest freezer and make big blocks of it and carve it up.
Damn.
Doing your own Gucci ice.
That's right.
So do you, Chad? Do you have your own recipe to do your ice, or did you follow somebody in particular?
So I followed years ago the Alcademics blog, which talks about directional freezing with ice, and so just kind of modified that to suit my needs.
That's Camper English, is a good friend of mine.
Yep.
Great writer.
Mine's pretty sophisticated. I get it to 32 degrees, and then I put it under my G Cafe refrigerator dispenser, and it's amazing. It comes out ice.
You don't have to do any work either.
I know.
It's just a line that's connected to the fridge. It's amazing. All right. Sutan, who missed out on the mellow moments this morning. He's still
angry.
He's still butthurt about that one.
You know what? It's work from home time. I'm allowed to sleep in. It is cruel and unusual that they posted that before I woke up.
True. So anybody that didn't know, so there was a bunch of people on the Discord server this morning, and they've got like basically website pings to figure out like when the Mellow Moments Club's open, and somebody was the first to hit it, dropped it in there, and then all of a sudden, like I think like 30 people signed up within the span of like 20 seconds, something like that.
We filled that thing up so fast.
It was a frenzy.
It was.
All right. Sorry, Sutan. Go ahead. What are you drinking? What's your
good.
stance on ice?
I'm drinking OA, just regular old one. Trying to turn through that and do a comparison later with a foolproof pick. And my stance is I like fridge ice. It is necessary at some points. If you're, sitting outside on a summer day and it's 90 degrees, you're having a cigar and some boogers, ice just makes that the right time and place.
Well, I will say that I use the fridge ice to chill my glass before I make a cocktail. So it does still serve a purpose. All right, Michael Beaver, you're next on the list, man. How you doing? Surprise, you're in.
Yeah.
Tag team.
New to the show. So little bird dog, 10-year-old, small batch. Ice depends on the bourbon. Some you need it, some you don't.
There you go.
Fair enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Nate Shue out of DC. How you doing?
All right, brother. Working that 1792 12 year, and I'm okay with ice. A lot of times I will, especially as it gets warmer. It's getting now. I have this. I don't know if y'all have seen these things called the hyper chiller. It's like a little thing that freezes your liquid. You swirl it around like coffee, but you can do the same thing with whiskey, and then dump it out and have it just as cold as it is with ice without the dilution. Which is
I didn't know that existed.
Yeah, I got it for coffee, and then I was like, wait a minute, I could use it with booze too. So I just threw some high proof stuff in there, and you get the cold, so it kind of takes the edge off, but without the dilution of the ice. It's not bad.
I'm curious.
Nice to see you there, Nate.
Hey, brother, what you doing?
I hope we can still do the. Oh, sorry, Kenny.
No.
Sorry.
You go.
So Nate comes to an event I do in DC every year in the fall, and I hope it still happens, man. I hope it still happens.
I don't know, man. Bill, I don't know what Jack Rose is going to be like when this is all over.
Yeah.
You know?
They're picking it clean. Are they picking it clean?
I don't know. I had my boy a couple days, and of course it was crazy here, so I didn't get a chance to go down there to check it out. But I'm sure within the first day or two, all the really good stuff was gone. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if you've talked with Bill to see if what the long-term plans are, because he's not going to be the guy with 2,700 bottles of whiskey anymore.
He'll be the guy with 2,200.
Yeah, right.
I've been to his house.
Plenty in storage. He's got like 10,000 bottles at his
house. It is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's got storage units full.
Yeah, he had so much whiskey in his house that it actually shifted the foundation of his house. So an architect was like, dude, you have to move like half your whiskey to this side or your house is about to collapse.
Even it out.
Life goals.
Yeah, really. Need to balance my fucking house with whiskey.
Oh gosh, I can only imagine if that was the case. So, all right. So next on the list, screen name China Jacobs. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. And I'm actually being kind of bougie tonight. I'm drinking gold.
Sorry, what was that? You're drinking what?
Blanton's Gold.
Blanton's Gold.
Ooh,
nice.
Ooh, fancy.
Good.
High dollar.
Yeah, you excited about it coming to the U.S. or are you kind of mad that everybody's
no,
going to know about it now?
The bottle I have, I had shipped from the Netherlands, so I'm excited if it is coming to the U.S.
See, the one thing I liked about it being in the Netherlands, because that's where I used to buy all my stuff too, was that I actually got it cheaper in the Netherlands shipped here than I would be able to get it actually retail here in the United States.
Yeah, well, if they stick to the 120 price, that's a little bit less than what I paid. So.
Oh well, then maybe you'll be all right. Then we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
China, how much you want to buy these 2 bottles for right here?
Okay, Steve.
You take that offline.
I'll make you a USA price.
There you go. Brandy said everybody's going to throw offers to you after this, so just go ahead and throw your email up on there for the world to see.
Brandy and China both drink over here once a week when we can socialize, so they usually get into that stash anyway.
Oh, easy enough then.
Now I'm charging them.
No, he's not. And bourbon's for sharing.
Precisely.
Yes, it is.
So, China, you didn't tell us what's your stance on ice.
I usually drink it neat. I don't use ice.
Well, I mean, in anything, like just anything in general,
Ice
just
is
like
not
no bourbon
unless you're
ever.
drinking, like cheap shit like Jack Daniels or something.
That's right. Take that, Jack.
Speaking of Jack, our Jack Daniels single barrel is in keg a bottle. It's at right now in California. So hopefully, problem I kind of messed up because we had stickers made, And then I actually forgot to print them off. And so now we're actually waiting for the stickers to get there before we could sell them. So hopefully next week or maybe the week after, we'll have them. That's definitely my fail on that one.
That's good on crushed ice, by the way.
Look, get it? I get it. Anybody else get it? Slowly drips.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah,
That's good.
Good jokes there. All right, Brandy. We know you're drinking the Saffel, but what's your stance on ice?
No way. Neat all the way. But I will say it's okay to have ice in an old fashioned, but that's it. You don't put bourbon on.
There you go.
Cool.
What's your by the way, the guy that's drinking the old fashioned, what did you make your old fashioned with?
Yeah, the guy.
So I got Elijah Craig barrel proof, Angostura bitters, and just simple syrup. That's it.
Hold on. Make sure everybody just recognize he said he's just got to get rid of everyday drinkers.
Yeah, all these everyday Elijah
he's
Craigs.
like, I got to make it with Elijah Craig barrel.
Well, it's really peasant barrel proof, I guess.
When I went to Maine, they had it and I was like, oh, I got to get 4 bottles of it. So I have 4 bottles of the same batch, and I'm like, I don't know, just plowing through them.
Good move.
I know that sounds terribly pompous.
Don't ever change, Ryan.
All right.
All right. Joel, I think you're next on the list here, man.
I'm doing a side-by-side of 2 Russell Reserve store pick samples from Chris Tauber. He cost and shipped a couple KC picks to a bunch of people on Discord, and then snuck some Russell Reserve samples in there. So I'm trying those out side by side. I started on them Monday and come back to them today. They're both pretty good, but I think for all the Discord guys who know about it, I think sample B is a winner. Yeah, see, John agrees. And then
Hey.
yeah, Stephanie Gallia agreed too, I think, right? And then for ice, I usually drink everything neat, but there's something about when you're, smoking a brisket outside and, you're just drinking Weller Special Reserve or something, you load that up with fridge ice and get the smoke rolling. That's a good summer day.
Speaking brisket, I mean, that's where it's at right there. You you follow the what's his name from Austin, Texas? What's his method called? Franklin's method. Yeah, Franklin barbecue.
Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he just does a straight up. He doesn't wrap or anything. He just puts it on low and slow, about 250 to 275, I think, for about 12 hours. A whole pack of brisket. I've done that. I usually wrap it to make it go a little bit faster and to steam it. They call that Texas crutch. Put it in foil.
Yeah, I use the butcher paper. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
I think Aaron had mentioned that, and because it's awesome. He's got like a YouTube,
I've
YouTube
watched
series.
all his videos. Yeah.
Oh, I know, it's addicting because it's so damn good.
I've seen all of his, and then there's a guy out of Kansas City with All Things Barbecue. That's a great video series that he's got where he does the normal stuff, but then he'll go off the wall and do some wild things. Like one Thanksgiving, he did a turducken and showed you how to. And then there's a guy. His name is Malcolm. He does How to Barbecue Right. And,
I was about to say, I love Malcolm, man.
Yeah, I think he's my favorite out of all of them because he's a guy I want to go and drink bourbon with all day while we're smoking meat. So, yeah. So that's usually my ice exception. Hot summer day on the smoker.
For sure. Awesome. Good stuff, man. All right. The other Minnick, what's your stance on ice?
Yeah, time release water crystals. Only good for soda. I think they ruin everything about good bourbon, man. So don't matter what temperature is outside, just drink more bourbon.
I agree. There's definitely some validity to that statement.
Yeah, I've never really put ice in anything. I've tried to chill a glass. I've tried to chill the bourbon, but just no matter what the temperature is, it seems like just neat just to know, get the flavor profile, what it's supposed to be like right out of the barrel.
I'm with you.
I guess right now I'm drinking the 1792 bottled and bond. So just picked that up, and I had at a Bourbon Fest recently, and been looking for a bottle of that. But since Brandy's at the Saffel and China's on the Blanton's Gold, I feel like I should bottle kill that Weller 12 that I've been saving for them. So
Here you go. Step it up and teach them a lesson.
doing it right here in front of them ought to drive home a message.
Well, I mean, you can just like leave the bottle in the driveway, and they can come and pour it, and then you can go back out and pick it up, something like that. You can keep your social distancing that
That's
way.
what Brandy recently picked these up. And so I don't know if you guys can see those, but they're about 4-ounce bottles. And,
Oh, yeah.
So we actually have a bourbon club here in the Dayton area called Poor Boys, and I'll fill those up and drop those off at mailboxes, and then we all share that pour together that night because we have Bourbon Fridays, and usually Bourbon Fridays everybody brings their cigar and their best bottle, and we share pours together. And since we can't do that right now, that's our way of doing it since we're all within about a 20-mile radius of each other.
Has anybody
That's
noticed
awesome.
that you mentioned the sample bottles? If you look around on all the websites, pretty much every sample bottle sold out across every website right now. Like the 2 websites that I go to, they're all gone.
Amazon, check it out. That's where I got them from.
They wouldn't ship
Yeah.
for like 3 weeks, so I ended up buying some on eBay, I think.
Yeah, you have to wait a month for them right now.
You know, I've been sending out a lot of samples, and I didn't even think about that, but I bought some new ones, and yeah, it's like a 3 or 4 week shipment to me. Didn't even think about that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I should be thanking Brandy right now.
There you go.
Thank you.
All right, Brian. It looks like a Seahawks background over there. Is that what's going on?
Yeah. My bonus room is painted Seahawk colors. So, I've got a Willet 7-year store pick that I got about a month ago called Parking Lot Razzles from Seattle. And then my stance on ice is pretty much.
Why are you watching YouTube?
I'm pretty much the no ice unless it's a cocktail, and even started to like kind of follow like I think it was like the Booker method of like letting your beer warm up a little bit. So I've been doing that with beer a lot lately too, letting it get more to room temp and kind of getting the flavors out of it. So yeah,
For sure. Well, I know our next person, Blake over here. He's a big beer guy, and I know at least with stouts because he brought a bunch of stouts to the Discord bottle share I guess we had during our 2-day Buffalo Trace thing. And yeah, at least when I do the stouts, you got to at least let them get up to room temp.
Yeah, we're pulling them out of a out of a cooler at that event, and they were on ice all day. So yeah, you're definitely like cupping the glass and trying to warm it up a little bit before you dug into it. But when there's so much stuff to taste, eventually you just got to throw it down the hatch.
Yeah. So what are you drinking? And if we've hit everything about ice, what's your stance on whiskey rocks? Those things that everybody ends up getting for Christmas at some point in their life. They find out you're a whiskey drinker.
Yeah, drinking apologize, there's a helicopter flying over right now. Drinking the Knob Creek 2009 limited edition rye. It's pretty solid. Whiskey rocks, never used them. Don't really have any intention to. But ice, one thing that I don't know if anybody's mentioned it yet or not, but like if I have buddies that come over and they're like just starting to get into it, or they're like, oh, all I drink is light beer. If they're like Wild Turkey 101 with some ice, hand it to them. They're usually pretty receptive to that. So I think that's a fairly good application for it.
There's nothing. If Wild Turkeys are light beer, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Bush lattes.
Bush lattes.
Here, try this.
Joel's kicked out of the VA crew for that.
VA represents hard around here.
Yeah, they go big.
There's a lot of y'all around here. That's for sure.
Like 70 of them in the Discord server.
Mm-hmm.
Taking over.
All right. So up next we got Mr. Gallia himself. How are you? How's everything in sunny San Diego? Can't hear you.
Pretty shitty.
Oh, there we go.
Can't hear me.
Well, you got Blake's internet connection.
Yeah. Nobody else is doing too good either. Uh-oh. Should I give up?
We can hear you a little bit. Keep going.
Never give up. Never.
I'm
give
just
up.
going to show the bottle. Here's this Virginia Russells. Thanks to Joel.
FPS, man.
Well, I'm gonna hold it longer then. Virginia.
It's called Virginia. Is that because it was just like a ABC pick or something like that? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I don't know exactly how ABC does it. I don't know if they just say, hey, turkey, send us a bottle or a barrel, and then they bottle or whatever. I don't know exactly how the Virginia makes her picks. If they have someone who's actually knows what they're doing, go down there and get a good one or whatever. But we get some, they right now they're running some 1792 single barrel picks that Virginia picked and things like that. So I was at the ABC a couple weeks ago and saw a whole bunch of those Virginia Russell's picks and bought them all and passed them out.
Good deal. See, that's friends helping friends around here. That's what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mikey Conrad out of NKY, man. How you doing?
Doing well. Sipping on some Foregate. It's the Foundation brand label batch 3, which I know batch 5 was confirmed not turkey, but they did not confirm batch 3 wasn't turkey. So I'm still puzzled if it is or not, but it's pretty good.
Would you say you're turkey curious?
So we've been told like by the owners themselves that they finagled barrels out of turkey, right?
Yeah.
So they've had turkey barrels, and from what I know is that batch 3 is turkey, at least from what they've told me. And
breaking news: the Foregate owners just received a cease and desist order from Campari.
Well, it's excellent. It's like I think it's 119 proof, something like that. So basically barrel proof batched Russells. It's good. It's really good.
That's the question I was going to ask you was how good is it? Because I've been putting off. I just purchased a bottle of Old Carter in lieu of that because of the price. I was going to get one or the other. So I was curious what your thoughts are as far as the price you pay for that and what you get.
Well, you said it was what, 114, Mikey? Is that what
I think it's 119, maybe.
119 proof, right?
Yeah. It's non-chill filtered too.
Yeah.
I guess my question is what it costs per bottle. I'm asking. I'm just trying to compare. I paid.
Old Carter's they're all over the map though, aren't they? They got Dickel, they got MGP, they got. Yeah, it just depends, I guess, on what batch it is, or.
Yeah, I got batch 2 and batch 3. The batch 3 I just opened is a blend of 15 years, and very sweet on the tongue, barely on the finish, of course, because of the age. I was just curious what I've passed on the Foregates twice at the counter, and I'm just wondering if I made a mistake. Just curious what your thoughts are on the flavor profile and what you think.
Well, this one is turkey all the way.
Okay.
So the Foregate has like, I don't know how many, 4, 5, 6 different types. So this one is called Foregate Foundation. It's black. It's kind of black trimmed on its label.
Okay.
They have other ones that are blue, I think red. Some are finished, some aren't. So it just depends, I guess, on what.
What was the price point on the bottle? Just curious.
What's that?
What was the price point on that bottle?
I think it was like right around 200, like 189, maybe something like that. Yeah,
very,
it's pretty comparable to Old Carter.
Okay, thanks.
That's a hefty price point to pay for 9 more proof points, though.
It is, yeah.
Well, for me, it's a lot of cost for something that's unknown. Like I haven't tried it anywhere. It's one of those ones where I would like to find it in a lounge or in a bourbon bar and buy it, test it by the shot before I spend $200 on the bottle.
Yeah,
so I'm curious.
And I think that batch 3, that's also like a 9-year age dated, correct?
It is like 9 years, 9 months, I think.
Yeah. So if I recall correctly, they had like 2 or 3 or 4 barrels, something like that. And most of them, I think, were like 11 or 12 years old, except that one.
Okay.
And whoever they were contracting through, I don't know if it was the Foregate batch 3, and whoever they were contracting through accidentally put in that last barrel, and that's why they had to put that lower age statement on it.
Oh, gotcha. That stinks.
Yep.
Oh, well.
So it is. I think they are. Most of the blend is higher age, like over 10 years, like over 10 to 12, something like that.
Okay. So yeah, it's good for sure. So if any of you guys are on Discord and have my name on there, want to try a sample of that, I can get some out to you. Just let me know.
Yep. The DMs start flying in.
Oh boy, there they go.
ISO.
first.
I'm gonna ban you real quick until you can send.
I won't head off here and hang out with my wife a little bit. So.
All right, Mikey.
Okay,
Thanks for
later.
stopping in, man.
All right, see you.
And Kenny, I got to get Jet too, but before I go, Colby, can you show me your bar? I keep seeing little glimpses of it, and it looks like you got a nice little barrel there, some cool stuff going on. Can you show me the bar at all?
Well, I know that barrel's a recent acquisition.
Yep, that's it. I just got this barrel and some half open stuff on it. I'm trying to get out the light here.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
That barrel is our last Buffalo Trace single barrel we did. He picked it
Oh
up
yeah,
from Buffalo Trace.
Yeah, that is what that is.
That's a special barrel, then, sir.
Yes, it
All right.
is. I'm just getting started as far as the bar. I just got a whole lot of liquor all over the house.
Well, you know what? You're just like me. I don't have a proper bar either. I just got closets and bookshelves and.
Well, the good news is you never have to go far for a pour, so you're all right.
Yeah, that's right.
That's true. That's true.
I was cleaning the garage the other day and found a case of the guy from Moonshiners whiskey, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about this." So I got whiskey everywhere. Well, guys, I got a Jet. I hope you'll come join me on my tasting of Elijah Craig and Old Forester rye later. I'll put the link here in the show notes there for you. But I'll see you guys later. And,
Cheers, Fred. Thanks for stopping in, man.
Be nice to Kenny, okay?
Not Ryan, apparently. Just me.
I need Kenny happy. Bye, guys.
All right. Bye, Fred.
See you, Fred.
Cheers.
All right, Colby, since we jumped over to you, what's in the glass, and you got a stance on Whiskey Rocks?
I got the Four Roses Select and no rocks. No rocks. I might do it.
Small batch select.
Yeah, small batch select. But yeah, maybe a couple of drops of actual limestone water. I won't even come out the tap. It's got to be actual limestone water. I'll do a couple of drops of that, but no ice. Yeah, I mean, I try to keep it authentic.
Yeah, that small batch select is delicious, man.
Yeah, it's really good. Really good.
Yeah, this is my second pour of it. I think I opened it up maybe 3 nights ago. That was my first. But yeah, it surprised me. I didn't think it was this good.
It's dangerous. I mean, it's sweet enough. It's one of those where you could polish it off in a night if you're hanging with a buddy or something. I mean, it just goes right down.
I think he just invited himself over.
I think it's kind of funny how Four Roses, they kind of like cornered themselves a little bit with that, because they said, "Oh, it's the final rose." You know, it's like their fourth line extension. Like we still have like infinity to go. Like you shouldn't just like be like, "Nope, that's it. Like we're done." I think that was a weird move on their part to say like, "This is it. This is our final line extension."
Yeah,
but that's just me.
I think it is weird too.
I mean, it is, but I mean, they have the 10 recipes, which is kind of each its own line almost. I mean, they're all single barrels, but the way that those are going on secondary lately, you know, especially like the OESVs and stuff going for $200 a bottle. It's almost like each one of those is its own line.
And it's just everybody's just on that hot next shit. You know, I remember a few years ago, everybody was all about the ME warehouse, and then now people are about tier 6 or whatever the bullshit is. It's
Tier
just a
6
single,
is the magic nectar.
It's just a single barrel, guys. There's nothing crazy about it. It's just a single barrel.
No, there's magic in the tier 6 apparently.
Somebody's got to hype it up.
Do special voodoo to that barrel or something.
There was somebody on secondary who was also just trying to collect all of the bottles from the barrels on, what was it, row 27.
But why?
It's some serious meta.
That's a special kind of obsession.
Yeah.
Maybe he thought he could start the next trend and then cash in, you know, in a year or two from now.
I would think that, like, even like Brent Elliott's like, what the fuck's wrong with you people?
Yeah. So many of you fucking idiots.
I mean, that's just what I figured he's got to be thinking in his head, but I don't know. Oh, gosh. Eric on his mobile phone. How you doing, man?
Doing well. I heard you guys talking about the
the tasting and the bottle share. Is this somebody left this? I don't know if anybody recalls who it is, but
it would have to be Blake.
Blake would know.
Yeah. Well, I haven't opened it, but I was saving it for somebody.
I don't think that one's mine.
It's all yours now, Eric.
Yeah, go for it.
Go ahead, shotgun that for us if
Thanks.
you don't mind.
Is that the Veil IPA?
It's caskets. I don't know.
Something Billy brought, maybe?
Shotgun
I'm
it.
guessing it was Billy's.
Just shotgun it.
Obviously, he left them all for you. Everything there. You should just chug a lug.
Yeah, I would say
No,
a Zoom chug is necessary.
Zoom chug.
Yeah, I was going to chug it, but then I was like, it'd be cool to share it with everybody again sometime. So I'm going to hold on to them, and next one we'll crack them open too.
Nicely deflected.
Is it a stout or is it a hoppy beer? I couldn't tell.
This is a barrel imperial oatmeal stout with barrel rye whiskey, and
Save that as long as you need to.
Yeah. These are both stouts, so that's why I figured they'd be okay to save. So yeah, they're both stouts. But,
Yeah, it's like liquid dinner right there. Sounds delicious.
I've been drinking a little bit of bourbon this week, so I'm kind of mixing it up. I'm having some Belle Meade, the cognac finish, with a little bit of lime, and it's kind of like a margarita. So I guess it's a bourbon
Interesting.
margarita. Yeah.
Interesting. Bourbon
Living
March.
high on the hog there, man.
Bourbon
Add
March.
lime to your Belle Meade honey.
No, not
Is
the
there
honey.
ice
It's the
in it?
cognac. It's the cognac. I wasn't a fan of it, so I was trying to figure out what to do with it.
Ryan mixes everything with cocktails. You're like, I'll just add a little bit of lime to it and I'll just call it a margarita.
Pretty much. I mean, that's the way it is sometimes. So, but yeah, thanks for having this, and I appreciate everybody here. It's good to talk to everybody. See everybody again.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no. Anybody that doesn't know, so Eric's the one that invited us all over to his place, one of his Airbnbs for the bottle share. So it's kind of like a little virtual reunion here, I guess we got going on.
Yeah. Any
Brought
Browns?
us to the drive-thru earlier too.
Are there any Browns fans? The coach for the Browns rented it for like 3 months. And
Kitchens or the new coach?
The new coach, the wide receiver coach, I think he was the offensive coordinator at Miami. I don't know. I ended up talking to him.
Anybody to show up?
I don't know. He's a really nice guy. Because he was telling me what he does. I was like, oh, so I didn't know if there's any Browns fans, but got a very nice wide receiver coach coming. So.
I like it when we play the Browns.
I was about to say, I was like, did you say like you're gonna turn the program around anytime soon, or is it just gonna keep the status quo?
There were so many jokes. I was like, I don't know. I just stopped. I was like, oh, I guess it's really hard to train while you're doing Zoom meetings. And he was like, yeah, there's a lot of things that are difficult. I don't know. He said they're still planning to start the NFL, and I'm pretty happy to hear that. So can't wait for that.
Yeah, we all need a little break from everything going on right now.
Yeah.
All right, Jordan, how you doing, man?
I'm
Jordan
good.
Van de Bogart. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, close enough.
Close enough.
So what are we talking about? Whiskey rocks, ice, no ice?
What you're drinking, all that sort of stuff.
Oh, well, I'm drinking that. Still the Four Roses, the gift shop single barrel.
Oh, that's
Really?
right. You said that at like the top of the hour. It's been so long, I totally forgot.
It has. I'm a situational ice kind of guy. If I'm drinking something nice, like a high proof or a single barrel, something a little more expensive, I'm not putting ice in it. But if I'm sitting around playing Call of Duty, I'm gonna throw an ice cube in some Ancient Age or something. Some Evan Williams. Yeah.
Do you on your Twitcher streaming kind of person, or are you
No.
just joining in?
Yeah, I mean, I play with some buddies from work. We've got another office in Kansas City, so a lot of us play together, and some of us on the Discord have been playing together too. But yeah, no, I'm not good enough to be on Twitch. I don't need to embarrass myself publicly. I do that in a small group. So
It reminds me, like, the only kind of gaming I already did back in the day was like playing Halo back in college, like original Halo, when you had to take 2 Xboxes and hook them up with like a Cat 5 crossover cable or something like that. So you could play 8-player.
LAN jam, buddy. Everybody brings their TV and their Xbox and pile in a basement.
Pretty much. That was my my extent. And I mean, it was so much. I think it's still like the original Halo is like still around for even quite a bit. I mean, it was a pretty iconic game for especially at the time.
They're still putting out versions of it. You can still get, like on the Xbox Game Pass, you can still play it.
See, still
But
around.
I'm about to bounce. Good to see you guys.
We're all
Cheers,
about to
have a good
bounce
night.
here in like 2 or 3 minutes, but good seeing you, Jordan.
Take care, buddy.
Mike Bliss, how you doing, local Louisvillian? Staying safe?
Yeah, doing my best. Good evening. So tonight, literally tonight, I risked my life. Grab a Blue Riff barrel from the wine rack. Super young, doesn't make sense, but it's brilliant. It is quintessential bourbon. It's clean. It's so easy to drink, not too hot. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, I like John over at the wine rack. He picks a lot of good stuff over there. And then, what's your stance on ice or whiskey cubes?
No and no. Like, I'd say, like, until you get to Hazmat, George T. Stagg, maybe a drop of water. Otherwise, why? Like, for me, and maybe like I'm just too old. Like, I need the full flavor, the full profile. I don't want it cold, and I don't want it watered down.
It's the natural progression of a bourbon drinker. I think everybody on here has now experienced that. I think all of us are like, fuck ice. We're done here.
Why? Right. So if you're drinking like a 144, you can't bring on the airplane. Yeah, I get that. Completely get that. But so tonight I picked up the new Elijah Craig. It's like what, A120, 137 proof. That's kind of borderline. Do you bother with a little bit of water, a little bit of ice?
No.
So smooth.
The good thing about something being that high proof is that it gives you the opportunity to at least experiment a little bit. So you can try it, dilute it a little bit, then try it barrel proof, and then come back to the next day and try it again and kind of see if it does change up. Like I said, for me, when we were talking earlier, like that full 1792 full proof, I think the 1792 12-year is better because it's a little bit more diluted than it is foolproof. But that's just me. That's just me.
Sweet oak too, man. That 12 year is nice.
I mean, there's something about Barton. It's just at 125, it's just hot, and you
I was
can't.
not impressed by the foolproof.
Oh, I love it.
It wasn't
It's
bad,
hit or
but
miss.
It just was,
Well,
I'm almost
listen,
like the single barrel before the foolproof.
If you all are like, if you're a big fan of foolproof, then Old Forester barrel proof is just gonna like light you out because it is just like a hot like tamale, just like explosion in your mouth, and you're just. Personally, like I would actually rather pick 100 proof barrel, but I know everybody would probably hate me to do it. So we're gonna probably go with a barrel proof when we get the option.
Yeah, the first year of the barrel proof picks, you'll get fucking destroyed if you pick one of the hundreds.
I figured as much.
We've got a local group that's doing the single barrel picks are coming in May, and then the next pick is going to be that barrel proof.
Yep. I believe they're supposed to be starting in May, but at this point, I think everything's getting pushed back. I'm sure everybody has read my updates that even our barrel picks are getting postponed as well. So, boo hiss all around. Well, let's do this real quick to give everybody else a little bit of time here. Chris Tauber, how you doing, man? I got you as soon as you put something in your mouth too, right? So it's always what happens. Like when I go to a restaurant, I'll put something in my mouth and the waitress will come by and be like, "How's your food?" And I'll be like, "Oh, I'll just wave." That's about all I can do.
Yeah, why not? Perfect timing. So, what's the questions going around? I joined a little bit late, so I'm not sure what's going on.
You drinking anything, and then what's your stance on ice?
I am drinking rum tonight. I know this is Bourbon Pursuit, but having a little bit of rum, having some one of Sealbox Select's privateer rums, which is actually very good. So enjoying it very much. So on the screen
Awesome.
here.
I haven't had that's where you see Joe over here flaunting his Foursquare too. So
Yeah, the Foursquare is better, of course, but yeah, this is pretty good.
Well, we're big rum fans here, so no judgment whatsoever. All right, last one before we got to get off of here. So RGH, I know your initials, but I don't know your name. So go ahead and unmute yourself if you can. maybe.
Mute button.
There we go. RJ.
You're unmuted.
There we go. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Cool. Where you calling in from?
San Francisco.
Nice.
So I'm having a Bourbon Pursuit Traverse City barrel pick.
Love it. Love it. Shout out to the crowd that went and picked that 7-year MGP as well.
Yeah.
I had that
Classic
earlier
MGP.
tonight. It is awesome.
Good deal.
Say a lot more.
Well, I might have to go to it now that we're going to jump off of here and hit Fred's live stream. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end it. Thank you all for coming on. I hope you enjoyed it. Got a little chance to get a little face-to-face here. We'll try to do it again soon. What do y'all say?
Please do.
Right on.
Maybe once or twice a week would be great.
Oh, we kind of do, really.
Yeah, so
Well, yeah.
The Discord.
Yeah, so hop on Discord. John also has access to the account, and so usually a few times a week, just the people that are in there usually hop on. So feel free to join them. But every once in a while, we'll do this, and I'll blast it out to everybody on Patreon to be able to join. So again, thank you all. We appreciate everything that you do to help this show stay alive and keep going. So definitely cheers to you all.
Cheers.
Take care.
All right. Bye, everyone. See you on over at Fred's side.